The way that you carry yourself is literally you telling people how to treat you, because the way you carry yourself is how you are treating yourself. And this language, your body is always talking. It is always telling people what you think and feel about yourself, and subconsciously they will read that and they will respond accordingly. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be explaining how to remain confident while around other people, because something I've noticed along my journey and in doing it myself is that very often when we're alone and we're working on ourselves, we're able to get ourselves into a state of confidence, and then when we go out into the world and we're around other people, that is often when we struggle to remain in that state of confidence. So in today's video I will be sharing some tips with you about physical and mental things that you can be doing when you're around other people that will help you to maintain that state of confidence. Now, the first thing we need to look at is something I talk about all the time, and that is that people think and feel about you as you think and feel about yourself. So any insecurities you have about yourself and any beliefs that you have about yourself, when you go out into the world to be around people, they are going to reflect those insecurities and beliefs back to you, whether you are even conscious of them or not. Now, something that I've noticed happens a lot when we're working on self-confidence is that when we're alone, it's sometimes very easy to convince ourselves that we've actually gotten over certain insecurities, and we don't realise that we haven't gotten over them until we go out into the world and be around people, and we then experience them reflecting it back to us. And this is something I experienced along my own journey back when I started working on my confidence, and I had many insecurities to overcome, and sometimes I would get myself into a state where I'd spent so much time alone working on myself, and then I would think I was ready to go out into the world. I'd think I was super confident, and I'd go out into the world and be around other people, and I'd have all these people reflecting back to me insecurities that I thought I had overcome but clearly hadn't. And what this did was it threw me off. It caused me to go into a state of a lack of confidence while I was around these people, because I was having these insecurities reflected back to me. So this is something that may happen when you're around other people. So, and this is not necessarily a negative thing, this is actually a positive thing when we're aware of it. It's not so good when we're not aware of it, but when we are, it can actually be a positive thing, because it's telling us, you know, when we go into the world and we thought we've overcome these insecurities and then we have people reflecting them back to us, it's telling us that there's still something here that needs to be healed and still something that needs to work on. So that's something that's really good to understand when you are working on your confidence and trying to remain confident around other people. Another thing that tends to happen when we do not have awareness of the fact that other people reflect back to us what we think and feel about ourselves is that when we go out into the world and we are around other people and they start reflecting back to us our insecurities and beliefs about ourselves, what we do when we do not have an awareness of the fact that this is just a reflection of what we think and feel about ourselves is that we then use those reflections as confirmation for the insecurities that we have about ourselves. So for example, and I used to do this is something I've experienced, I used to have certain beliefs about myself. I would then think I'd overcome insecurities and things, and I'd go and be around people, and they would be thinking certain things about me and saying certain things about me and responding to me in a particular way, and I would, you know, in a way that was in alignment with my insecurity, and because I did not at this point have awareness of the fact that they were reflecting back to me what I think and feel about myself, I saw what they were thinking about me as confirmation for my insecurity. So I was then thinking, oh, because these people are thinking this thing about me, it must be true. So I used my own reflection as confirmation to keep being insecure. Now, this is something that happens when we do not have awareness of the fact that people reflect back to us what we think and feel about ourselves, because our reality is a mirror. So when you're trying to remain confident around other people, it's incredibly important to remember these things. Always remember that people will always reflect back to you what you think and feel about yourself, regardless of whether you're conscious of those things or not. Now, a physical trick for maintaining confidence around other people. Now, this is something I've studied myself for years and applied in my own life, and it's worked tremendously for me, and I really recommend you look into this. Now, there is a language, a non-verbal language, that is always being spoken between human beings, and it is being understood and read subconsciously by all human beings and responded to subconsciously. And that non-verbal language is your body language. Now, even if you are not saying what you think and feel with your words, your body will always be saying what you think and feel. Your body language will always give you away. Okay, your body language, this non-verbal language, is always speaking. At our core, human beings are just animals. That's just the way it is. We're animals. Okay? Now, we read each other. We read each other's body language continuously. Your subconscious mind is always reading people's body language, and their subconscious mind is always reading your body language. And all of us are continuously responding to other people's body language and what it says subconsciously. Okay, this language is always being spoken. Now, if you understand this language, you are way ahead of everybody else. And not only that, but you can use this language to actually change the way that you feel. Now, let me explain this. So, when a person is lacking confidence, naturally, that person is going to position themselves in more diminutive positions. Okay, now it's a direct reflection of that lack of confidence. Like I said, your body is always speaking. It is always revealing what you think and feel about yourself, okay? So when we look at people who lack confidence, they will naturally position themselves in a more diminutive position. You'll also see these people, and this is something I used to do, you'll see these people trying to take up less space. Okay, so you'll find yourself kind of not wanting to, like, a confident person will be in a more open position. A confident person will be taking up more room. They'll be in a more dominant position because that's a direct reflection of their state within them, which is confidence. Whereas, like I said, a person who's struggling with confidence will be taking up less room, okay? And you'll constantly see these people kind of dancing around other people, trying to make room for everybody but themselves, and that is because they lack confidence. I used to do this. I used to dance around like somebody would walk into the room, and I'd quickly shrivel myself up into a corner to make more room for them, as if I don't deserve room, as if we all don't deserve room. You know, now this is a direct reflection. This is your body telling everybody what you think and feel about yourself. Now, the way that we can use this to our advantage is, the thing is, when we, like, take smiling, for example, you've probably heard this idea that if you're feeling sad, you can force yourself to smile, and what that does is it actually tricks your brain into thinking that you are happy, and therefore it causes your brain to release happy chemicals like dopamine, because your body associates this physical movement with happiness. Now, it is the same with confidence. If you are struggling with confidence and you choose consciously, because you understand this non-verbal language, and you choose consciously to position your body in a more dominant, open space, a more dominant, open position, taking up more room, not dancing around the room when somebody enters it. If you're in the way, then calmly move. You don't dance around anybody. You understand that you deserve just as much room as everybody else. You stand tall. Your body is open because you're not afraid. You're coming from a place of confidence. If you choose consciously to put your body in those positions, even when you are not feeling confident, you will trick your brain into thinking you are confident, and your brain will start to release new chemicals. And after you've made the decision to put your body in these positions enough times, consistently, eventually it will become your natural body language, it will become your natural state, and you will find yourself genuinely starting to feel more confident. It's so powerful to understand that there is this non-verbal, subconscious language continuously being spoken between human beings that barely anybody is aware of. And you've also got to understand that reality is a two-way mirror. So not only does your feelings affect your body and the way you position your body, but likewise, the way you position your body can in turn affect and change your emotions. Reality is a two-way mirror. It is not one-sided. Everything is spiritual. Okay? So if you decide to embody the body language of a confident person, you will actually start to see a genuine difference in your confidence. I know because I've done this. Even just things like making eye contact, something that we tend to do when we're struggling with self-confidence, is we tend to avoid making direct eye contact, and even when we do make direct eye contact, we tend to break it quite quickly. Now, this is another thing that is reflecting your lack of confidence. Okay, so even just forcing yourself to continue eye contact when you're kind of feeling like you want to pull away, just that decision to continue making that eye contact even when it's uncomfortable, if you continually make that decision, eventually the way you feel will start to change because your body language has changed, okay? And that will affect your emotions. Eventually, it will become your natural state. You will find this body language becoming natural because you've made the conscious decision to do it enough, even when you're uncomfortable, that it becomes a habit for you. And you will see your emotions start to change, and you will find yourself becoming more confident. You will find eventually that direct, prolonged eye contact will be fine for you. It won't scare you anymore. It won't intimidate you anymore. It will feel natural. The way that you carry yourself is literally you telling people how to treat you, because the way you carry yourself is how you are treating yourself. And this language, your body is always talking. It is always telling people what you think and feel about yourself, and subconsciously they will read that and they will respond accordingly. Another thing we tend to do when we're struggling remaining confident around other people is we tend to explain ourselves endlessly. This is another one I used to do all the time. I would constantly be explaining myself and my decisions and my actions and just who I am to people. This is not something we do when we're confident, so stop explaining yourself. Even if you feel the urge to explain yourself, like I said, anything you make a conscious decision to keep doing, even when it feels unnatural, is eventually going to become your natural behaviour, your natural state, and it will change the way that you feel. Okay, so I made the decision to stop explaining myself to people because I understood that this was coming from a lack of self-confidence around other people, and I also understood that this is not a logical, good use of my energy. You do not need everybody to understand. No one does. You do not need everybody to understand. And you only think you do because right now you're lacking self-confidence. So stop explaining yourself to everybody. When we're constantly explaining ourselves to other people, not only does it show that we do not have confidence in ourselves, but it also shows that we do not have confidence in our actions and our decisions. And what that does is it causes people, because they reflect back to us what we think and feel about ourselves, it causes people to not have confidence in us or our decisions. And it causes people to subconsciously make the decision that we are inferior to them. It's not nice, but that is how human beings work on a subconscious level, because they are reading your body language. They are reading the things that you are doing. They are seeing how you are treating yourself, and they are treating you accordingly. So if you are showing a lack of confidence in yourself and in your actions, they will do the same. When you stop explaining yourself and your actions to everybody, and you start owning unapologetically yourself and your actions, not explaining to anyone because you're owning yourself, you're now choosing to come from a place of confidence within yourself and your actions, what you will see is you will start to get people backing off, because subconsciously they are now respecting you and your actions because you are owning them. So they are reflecting that back to you. Okay? So if you have got people in your life who are questioning you and your actions a lot, you need to look at what beliefs and insecurities you've got going on within you. Because if you've got these people in your life questioning you and your actions, you're going to have something within you that's causing that to happen. Some lack of trust in yourself and your actions. So if that's happening, you need to look at that. But make sure you are working on owning yourself, owning your actions, and therefore not explaining yourself to anyone. Now, another thing that plays a role in us being unable to remain in a state of confidence while we're around other people is the fact that from an early age we are conditioned to believe, this is all subconscious, we're conditioned to subconsciously believe that we will not get what we want and need unless others approve of us. Okay? So when you're around other people, you've got to understand that more often than not, there is a place in your brain that is perceiving others' disapproval of you as a direct threat to your survival. Okay? So naturally, you are going to have this part of your brain within you that's trying to encourage you to get others' approval. Okay? Now, this is not true. Now, let me explain why this is not true. Let me explain why, if you listen to this part of your brain and you try to make others like you, you will actually not only not get what you want and need, but you will actually repel people. Now, when we are people pleasers, when we care what others think, people obviously feel that. They know that we care. Subconsciously, they can feel that we care, and they can feel that we want their approval, and they can feel that we are trying to please them, and that repels people, because people cannot validate you. People cannot see you as valid unless you have validated yourself, because they are your reflection. Okay? So people cannot like you or be attracted to you or be magnetized to you if you care what they think and if you are trying to get their approval. Do you see how it works? So this part of our brain is so wrong. It's telling you to do the very thing that will achieve the opposite of what it wants. It's mad. Okay, so the more you care what people think, the more you want their approval. Although your brain is telling you that that's what you need to get what you want and need, it's the very thing that will get you what you don't want. It's the very thing that will repel people. Our brain being wired to believe that we need others to approve of us to get what we need, it is actually causing us to do the very thing that repels people and gets us the thing that we do not want. Because when we are trying to make others like us, when we are striving for others' approval and validation, it shows that we do not approve of ourselves. It shows that we have not validated ourselves. And if you have not validated yourself, others cannot see you as valid because they are your reflection. So if you strive for others' approval, if you are looking for others' validation, if you are caring what people think, they cannot do anything other than be repelled by you. Others can only see you as valid if you validate yourself first, because they are your mirror. There is a reason we are attracted to people who are confident, don't care what we think, are just living in their own frame, owning themselves and what they do, The reason we are magnetized to these people is because they have validated themselves, and therefore we see them as valid because we are their mirror just as they are ours. If you keep an awareness of these things while you're around other people, and you combine that with choosing new body language, you will find yourself being able to remain in a state of confidence around other people. Although it may be difficult at first and it may feel unnatural to take on more confident body language, eventually it will feel natural to you, because eventually it will become your habit, it will become your natural state, and you will feel it very quickly changing the way you feel. And just keeping an awareness of some of these things is so powerful. It all begins with awareness, because if you don't have awareness of something, then you don't have the power to change it. So when you have awareness when you're around other people that they are only reflecting back to you what you think and feel about yourself, it gives you so much power just in that awareness. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it's helped you. And in my next video, I will be doing a subscriber request. So this will be where I share exact examples of how I would script certain things myself. So I will actually be here with a pen and a piece of paper showing you exactly how I would script about certain things. So if there is anything you would like to see me script about, if there's anything that you would like to know how I would script about it exactly, you can leave it in the comments section and I'll try to incorporate that in the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.